Good afternoon, everybody. I'm your host, Crystal, and this is another edition of the 9 o'clock Meltdown podcast. And over speakerphone, I have the beautiful and very talented Aurora Baer. Hello!
Hello!
How are things?
Can you hear me?
I can! Can you hear me?
I can hear you!
Awesome! Excellent! Aurora, you are in the process of releasing a brand new album. You sent me 2 of your mastered songs. Let's dive right in.
Let's do it!
All right. And now, you do have a previous EP out. I really enjoyed it. It's out on iTunes and other streaming platforms. What brought about this new release?
I don't know, I just had some songs, I guess. Just had some songs. Yeah, and went in a different direction with this one. Went more rock and roll. Mm-hmm. The first EP is pretty folky. He got some horns and stuff, which I wanted to have some horns on this one, but we didn't put them on there, so maybe some other time. But
yeah, for sure.
Yeah, it's an EP. It's another EP. 5 tracks, and we just mastered the last 3 down last Friday. So.
All right, excellent. So it's coming out really soon then.
It's in the shoots, yeah. Mm-hmm. I'm guessing realistically, so I got set back a little bit on some stuff, but realistically, like August, September. And then we'll have a show.
Awesome. And now with this EP, you recorded at Sacred Heart. I follow you on Instagram and Facebook as well. So you recorded at Sacred Heart, and you actually had Alan Sparhawk of Low on this album.
Not only on the album, he produced the album.
Even better. How did that relationship come about?
Who knows? I mean, I've wanted to work with Alan probably ever since I've known who he was, you know. Because being in Duluth for a decade, you know, you get to run into him frequently, and he just struck me as someone that was very competent at what he does and extremely creative and also just like super laid back. And yeah, I just hit him up and I was like, I have these tracks. You want to produce it? And he said, yeah. I think that was pre-COVID, and then COVID hit, and then it took a little long. You know, we did it real casually on a real casual schedule because I wasn't living in town and whatnot. And also COVID made things complicated. So it took a little longer than we thought originally, but we've never really had a date on it, so I guess it took as long as it was supposed to. That was phenomenal. I was in the producer aspect, even like really perceptive and really able to like ask the right questions to kind of find out what you want. Yeah, it was great.
All right, wonderful. Why the change? I mean, your first EP was really folky, really kind of acoustic guitar style. This one, from the tracks that you had sent me, it's very kind of rockabilly, rock and roll, electric guitar style. Why the change? Just personal growth or change as a musician?
Well, I got a Telecaster I don't even remember, probably 5 years ago. And so, of course, then started playing that more and playing that with the tube amp. And yeah, just started in a little different direction, a little more rock.
Well, you definitely have this style.
I even kind of stopped listening to folk music.
Really?
I started listening to a lot more pop music, pop rock, pop. You know, I mean, I come from the White Stripes, but I listen to Miley Cyrus all the time. I don't know what to tell you. I never saw that one coming in a million years, you know?
Yeah. Well, you know, I can attest to that. I was not a huge Miley fan back in the day, back when she was under Disney's thumb. And now I just think she's got a lot to say, and she says it in a very frank kind of way.
Yeah, she's a blast now, for sure. Yeah. She's funny back then, too, but it just wasn't my jam. I just wasn't into pop music, even. It wasn't even about her, what kind of music she was making. It's funny now, though. I listen to Party in the USA, and I'm like, this is a banger. This is a banger of a song.
Nice.
So, all the props. That's all I'm saying. It's all good. Like, she, it was a fun evolution to watch, for sure.
Definitely.
Speaking of evolutions.
Yes, your own evolution as well. And now you recorded this EP at the Sacred Heart. I've been enjoying the pictures and the promotion that you had behind this album. What brought you to Sacred Heart, and kind of what brought the people on this EP together?
Oh, I don't know. Just the entanglement of life. I don't know. They're just who I know. I just picked who I knew.
Perfect.
Obviously, I was like, yeah, Fab Jan's Sacred Heart. And I was like, oh, yeah, that's actually exactly where we recorded the first one. But we recorded with Eric Swanson the first time. So, yeah, and working with Fab Jan's has been awesome. 10 for 10, would recommend, would do again.
All right.
Sacred Heart's cool, but we didn't track the drums there. Yeah, it's a great space to work in. But anyway, well, let's talk about the content, right?
Heck yeah, that's why we're here.
Well, it's called Out of My Mind. The EP's called Out of My Mind. Yeah, 5 tracks and some dark themes.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah. Quite a change from your first EP. I mean, your first EP was very bluesy, really soulful, and now this one, I mean, throw the electric guitar in there, and you've got some dark kind of themes going through this EP. Did that just come out of a need to express kind of the darker tones that yourself and the world were going through, or some of your own personal experiences?
Yeah, well, every song on there is definitely a reflection of my personal experiences. And I mean, Out of My Mind, the whole compilation of songs is basically about mental illness and drug abuse and psychosis and suicidal thoughts and things that, you know, people deal with. I have this really awful partner, and it just wasn't good times, and it was really hard to process everything that happened, and it can really mess you up. So
Yeah.
I guess if I was to put any message out there to go along with this EP, it's that you got to get help. If you've gone through trauma, you're suffering from mental issues regarding that, and a lot of times suicidal thoughts, and even genuinely wanting to die. I went and got help, and it changed things. I have to say, I got hypnotized, and that was like the best therapy. Through the whole thing, that was the best therapy I experienced. So I would highly recommend to anybody listening that's just struggling. Hypnotherapy is pretty cool. There's a couple places that do it around here. So
Now, Aurora, I'm a little skeptic on hypnotherapy. I myself have been seeing a counselor and a therapist, more talk therapy for the last 5 years. So I'm a little bit skeptical on the whole hypnotherapy, but that doesn't sound like that has been your experience.
not at all. Have you ever been hypnotized?
I have not, no.
Yeah, see, well, you got to go try it before you knock it. Even the first experience was life changing. Absolutely, yeah, absolutely. The first experience was a guided hypnosis through regression through positive memories all the way through childhood, and that's all we did. Is like we just walked back through the memories and talked, and went through them, and it honestly made the suicidal ideation stop almost right away. So it's the only therapy I've ever used that's actually worked on a really root level like that. So I'm just putting it out there because there's skepticism about it, I guess. I don't know, is that people consider it a pseudoscience? I'm sure it's considered a pseudoscience. And like all of psychology, I don't know. It's science, but also human nature is really complex. So.
Yes, human nature.
Now we're just battling anyway. Yeah, I just had to tell the story, and also like for everybody out there, be careful how you mix trauma and drugs and psychedelics, uppers, all kinds of stuff. Just be careful out there because we care about everybody, and I want everybody to be healthy and be safe. And if you need help because you're having problems, there's no shame. Absolutely no shame in going to get help. That makes you the bigger person. So,
right.
Shout out to everybody suffering from mental illness.
Yay!
Yeah, woot woot.
And now, Aurora.
That's my message. Yeah, I've been saving that one for you. You heard it first.
All right. Perfect. I heard it first. Now, Aurora, you and I have been friends for many years. I can attest to some more personal stories that you've shared with me with your struggles and things like that. But I guess what changed? What really changed that you wanted to make it more open and more public? I guess there's still kind of a stigma in the US, I don't know if it's over in Great Britain or not, but to not really talk about mental health and issues that are going on. But what really changed for you?
I wouldn't say I've been reluctant to address it. I certainly talk about it on social media. I mean, once you have a mental health crisis, and then it's good to share. Because I don't believe in stigma. See, I like to eradicate those internal biases that people carry, you know what I mean, and trying to eradicate them in myself. I think that's one of the most important pieces of work we can do. So, talk about issues. It's fine to talk about issues. It's fine to talk about having issues.
Right.
You got to lift each other up. Yeah, celebrate life. Celebrate life, and what? Now I just started rambling.
You're fine. The more you talk about, the better it is. So let's take a little bit deeper dive into this EP. You said that there were really kind of dark themes going on, some drug abuse, some trauma kind of written throughout this EP. Was that a form of catharsis for you, or just a form of sharing?
I'm sure it's both. I'm sure it's both. I think we, as writers, organize our thoughts through writing songs. Yeah, just expression of feeling. I'm not a super prolific writer, and it seems like sometimes I really got to be feeling something to write it down. I have to really need it. Got to need to write it as catharsis, for sure.
Was there ever a moment when you were writing this EP or recording the EP that you thought you maybe shouldn't go down this path, or shouldn't say, something maybe about your past partner or something like that? Or was it all just full on, let's hit it and let's go for it.
Yeah, I didn't really judge it in that way. No, I did write a song about a person I knew who passed away basically from abuse, and as far as hesitating, I did ask his family if it was okay to name this song after him and write it in general, but mostly just the name of the song. Like, of course, wanted to be respectful,
Right.
I haven't got any feedback on the lyrics. Hopefully I painted a somewhat accurate picture of it, but it's just about sadness. It's just sad. Sad when people are sad for a long, long time, and some people don't crawl out of it. That's the harsh reality.
It is a very harsh reality, suicide and drug abuse, and a lot of that does stem from trauma. And now I sound like a therapist, but
that's what they say anyway.
Yeah.
I think some of us just humans being neurotic. I don't think we have too many brain cells. Life's too easy, and then we just get squirrely. I think if life was harder, we wouldn't have so much to focus on. You'd be on the field.
Now, Aurora, so you got this EP in the works, Out of My Mind. It's going to come out August, September. What else do you have going on in your life?
Musically, I'm putting another group of songs together for another record, like a full length. I want to try and get a 12 to 15 track full length.
Perfect.
80 minutes or whatever they are. We played the Cedar last night. That was new, that first live gig in a long time. I can't think of the last time I played live. It's been so long. I've been out of town for 2 years anyway. 2 winters I was gone, so.
Yeah.
But what's new? Yeah, I'm back in Duluth. That's new.
Welcome back. I'm glad.
I tried living up the shore, and it was just too remote, and it was just too long of a drive, and now I'm just back. Gave up, came back. It was cushy. I was living a good life up there,
Yeah.
Don't doubt it.
Yeah. Duluth isn't a bad place to be.
Duluth is a great city. I love Duluth. I just made more money up there, and the rent was cheaper. You know what I mean? My family's up there, so.
Oh, so
when you got small children, you make choices surrounding them.
Yeah, exactly. Wonderful to hear from you. I'm glad you put out this EP. You've worked with Alan Sparhawk in the past. Who else is on this EP?
Pollard plays the drums. Vaco plays the bass. Lipke has at least a rhythm track in there. And then I play rhythm guitar. Al plays a lot of leads. I play harmonica on there. And we don't have... I think I do all the vocals and backup. So
All
yeah,
right.
that's who's on it.
Awesome.
That's who's on it. But now, Kat Fox played with us our live gig. So, she didn't play last night, but she played our debut, Wild Card.
Yeah.
Call the band Wild Card when it's Al, Baco, Kat, and I. And then if something else, we'll see if that's the lineup right now. Those four. So, but we all got lives, so it's just like something when we have time. We'll do the EP release show. We'll probably play at the Cedar. So watch out for that.
All right. Excellent. We will. I've had Kat on the show before, and you and Kat are longtime friends. Does Kat do any rapping or more kind of backup vocals and harmonies?
Kat's playing the drums, son.
I forgot that she can do that.
She's actually a drum major. Yep, we're going to go down and work on some stuff next week.
Excellent.
Hash it out.
Excellent. Again, at Sacred Heart? Or?
Oh, no, we're just hashing out some of the new tunes.
Okay, perfect. Do these new songs take a lighter feel, or are you guys still on the same track?
No, none of them are lighter. I don't have much of a lyrical direction for the next set of music. I've got 5 songs that we've been playing that are newer than the EP that's coming out. And then, so those are all lyrically put together, but all the music that I have past that for the new songs don't necessarily have concepts yet. So I gotta do some conceptual writing and start thinking. I think this record will be about capitalism and the military-industrial complex and outer space, I would guess.
All right. Well,
if I had to guess what was on there, I'd say aliens.
You know what's funny? The whole alien thing is coming back around. I've noticed this. It's like the frickin' 90s all over again. I mean, come on.
Well, now, like, you see all these articles, like, the government's revealing the files.
Yeah.
And I think that, they're revealing, right, supposedly, I haven't read any of these articles, because I was like, yeah, I'm not surprised, right?
No.
I'm really curious about how these spaceships move, because I keep thinking about it, the UFOs, like, how are they doing that now? How are they floating in it like water, like air? I think about like how fish are in the water and the density's different and they float.
Yeah.
You know, and they can like dart back, you know, but there's also always like velocity issues. The speed that they report these things going at is something else, you know. How are they?
Yeah.
I love it. I think it's super interesting.
Yeah, yeah. Well, here's a little tidbit for you. So, a YouTuber I was watching, and it's about these alien spaceships, and she was basically saying that they are from the either fourth or fifth dimension, and they're just popping in and out of existence in our realm. So, I don't know. Maybe. I mean, if you really think about it, I was talking the other day, and I was just saying, you know, when I was in grade school, I was told cloning will never happen, that it was science fiction. And then when I was in 7th grade, they're like, oh, cloning's real now. Sorry, nothing is off the table for me anymore. So.
Nothing's off the table. Yeah. Technology's awesome. I bet the government's got all kinds of technology we don't have a clue that they have. It's just bizarre, like intense.
Yeah. Oh, you know? Yeah. Of course. Of course they do.
Not to mention all the bombs. Good job, guys.
Yay.
Jerks.
Yes, exactly.
Let's talk about the military-industrial complex. Oh, it makes me so mad. Let's talk about it. There's a song on the new EP called Death Drum that's about war and the U.S. just being everywhere. But we're a little bit out in the world controlling the whole, you know, trying to control a huge section of the economy through war, dominance.
Right.
Now, I could go on and on, Crystal.
Quite all right, but then we'd be sitting here for an hour.
Yeah, this isn't a political show, so get up politics.
Quite all right. I'll just have to wait for your next EP, right?
Heck yeah.
And then
I'm trying to talk Al into producing this one, or at least being on it.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll get a different producer to lighten his load. But I mean, he was great. He was great to work with, but definitely wanted to keep him on guitar anytime. It's super fun to play with.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes, perfect. Now, Aurora, you said with this EP, Out of My Mind, you guys kind of took it just as things came up, as people had free time. So there wasn't any constraint or anything like that. I mean, was there a thought of let's do a song a day, or just kind of take it as it comes?
We tracked it basically drums first, and then everybody just layered their parts on. So the tracking was time consuming because we had everybody come in separately. So we would do like 2 sessions in a weekend, you know, and try and get all of what somebody's part. It basically was like a weekend per person. Well, I had COVID too. I was, you know, and like, and we're all, you know, we masked up. We followed as much of the regulations, I believe, as we could. And in the beginning, we had like separate rooms. We weren't, but we also just like quarantined, and we tried to be really responsible. You know, Al was really definitely like, he was really cautious not to let his household get COVID, you know. So we all just played it really cool as we could, and we got it done without any spreading happening at the sessions. So proud of us for that.
Excellent. So now you have 2 tracks mastered. Sounds like you did the other 3 over the weekend. Who did you go for the mastering?
Tom's mixing. I mean, mix master, the files I pushed to you are pretty much done. So Fab Jance is doing that side of it. If we decide to get maybe a master done on the whole thing, I don't know if he'll do that or we'll have it done somewhere else. But these tracks are pretty much, they're just about there. We're going to fine tune them a little bit.
And now, Aurora, we kind of talked a little bit about the theme of this EP, about kind of trauma, drug abuse, losing people. Take me through kind of song by song. Is there just a progression into the darkness a little bit, or is it all kind of just swirled together?
Well, I haven't ordered them yet. The first song on there is like an FU song to my ex.
Okay.
The second song is Out of My Mind, which is like a poppy suicide anthem. The third song's called Thump Thump Thump, and it's like a rock blues song about all those 3 things. Basically, it's got a verse about ideations, verse about drugs, verse about sex, and some harmonica. And then the 4th song is probably In My Dreams, which is like kind of a spacey love ballad.
Okay.
And the 5th song is Shaner, about the guy that passed away.
Yeah, okay. We'll take a listen to one of your songs that you sent me here after the interview. Aiming for August, September, you've got a release show going on. What else is in the works for you besides tracking another EP with Kat?
Kat's a really close friend of mine, so we're always kicking it. I'm going to go down there. Like I said, we're going down to jam. Next week, we'll jam some tunes. I don't know. We haven't really, none of us have really started writing together.
Okay.
Which is something that I would like. This time, I think we loosened the format a little bit. Like, we might actually do some jamming and I think work out some rhythmic stuff, Kat has a EP also in the works. Her band Honey Dick is recording right now, so watch out for that one too. Her songs are so funny. She plays guitar in this band and it's like kind of ska punk, and it's hilarious. It's very funny. It's very much worth seeing. She's a great performer.
Yes,
so that's all that's happening between me and Kaz. Mad love. I wish she would have. She said she was going to call me. I was hoping she'd beep in so I could bring her on.
Yes, of course.
I always tell her she should rap some more, but Honey Dick is fun also.
Excellent.
It's fun, and it's fun to play with people,
Yes, of course. And Aurora, that's something I've noticed about you throughout the years is that you have this vast kind of community sense and you enjoy bringing other people on stage constantly. It's almost like a constant musician rotation with you every time you do a show. So I look forward to seeing that again.
Yeah. Hopefully, yeah. We'll try and settle into a lineup here, but sometimes you do have to have alternates. We'll see. Like I said, this band, this 4-piece that we're doing now is a loose thing. It's very casual. Like, we'll do a couple gigs, but it's not something that we're all going to put to the forefront. So looking forward to doing a couple anyway. I'll play more. Feels good to play again.
Good, excellent. Aurora, can we jump into a little bit of the kind of DIY? Now, you are an independent musician. Did you have to kind of fund this EP yourself? Did you go after a grant? How did you make it happen?
Oh, I don't know. I just had some cash, I guess. Who knows what it was. Maybe my refund from last year or something like that. Dropped a few thousand on it. Still got some to go, Basically, the musicians are paid. Production costs lie ahead as far as printing. I got to decide what kind of stuff I'm going to print and merch. The physical stuff is usually where you make any money anyway. You know what I mean? You gotta invest a little bit, print some stuff, and people are always good at shows about picking up a CD or an EP or a record. I mean, I suppose we have to print CDs. That's kind of, CDs aren't dead yet. So we'll print some CDs, but then we'll see if I could press it, maybe.
Yeah, no, CDs aren't dead yet, but we're definitely in the digital age. Are you going to push it out to iTunes like your previous EP?
Oh, yeah, it'll be on all the, yeah. Yeah, we'll give it away. No, I'm kidding. I thought about just putting it on Bandcamp, but I won't be that, stubborn. It's like, you can only get it here. You gotta release it, you know what I mean?
Right.
You gotta release it. Nowadays, the way things is, you gotta make your income somewhere else, because your streams aren't gonna pay you.
True enough.
Don't worry about that.
Yeah.
Everybody got your stuff on Spotify,
Very true, very true.
But real aficionados go out of their way to buy merch from their favorite artists, as I do for mine.
Of course, I do for mine as well.
Okay, we're so lucky to live in a town like this where there's so many shows that people can see for such reasonable pricing.
Yeah, definitely. Aurora, have you thought of doing any kind of live stream shows or anything like that?
I'm not a big fan. I think now that live music is back, I'd rather just go and play live. My only thing is, I want to play the Cedar with the band. I'm not super into it. It's like the audio. I don't think they got the audio quality figured out yet. It's time to get back to. I don't want to say normal normal. I want to go play places normal.
Perfect. Well, Aurora, thank you so much for taking time out of your day to talk with me in the wider world about Out of My Mind EP is coming out August or September. You're kind of teasing the tracks a little bit. You've got a killer lineup. Thank you so much, and I look forward to talking to you again. Great to talk to you. Have a awesome weekend. Yes, you too. Thank you. Love you, go. Love you too. Bye. Bye. I'm out of my mind. Yeah, I'm alright. It's just a temporary thing, and I'm feeling fine. I won't lie. I've been getting high. Now I'm bleeding on my nose, and my eyes are on fire. Well, I've been crying out in silence, looking fine, wasting time. Sometimes wild-eyed and flying like a broken record. I wanna die. Put your arms around me gently while I cry. Stick around, I'll stabilize. I'm out of my mind, but yeah, I'm alright. It's just a temporary thing, and I'm feeling fine. I won't lie, I've been getting high. Now I'm bleeding on my nose and my eyes are on fire. I'm a statistic, realistically I'm fine. It's not the first time that I've been here. I'm genetically inclined. It's a trip, I've lost my grip upon the time. Textbook madness underlined.
I'm out of my mind, but yeah, I'm alright. It's just a temporary thing.